Well, since we're on the topic of Tony Robbins and Dean, I picked actually a Tony Robbins clip for us to watch. I picked two of them
Oh,
actually, because I don't think Tony gets enough attention on this channel. Like
that's
we've
true.
covered him once, but he really is the poppy of self help, and he, you know what he loves the most.
What excites me most is see a person die.
Yeah.
So you know, he excites him most. So
Okay,
we
but
need
do we
to.
have emotional music to go with this? Because
Yes, yeah. Here's our Tony Robbins clip. I was born a giant, but I'm now just an average man. Yes! This is Tony.
yeah, no, he does this thing. Oh my God, he does it all the time. He does it so much that even Dean Graziosi has started to like clap like that.
Stop. He's like, I clap too much, my poor fingies. Okay, so this clip is called Tony Robbins, My Biggest Splurge. Now, for me, I tried to think before I even saw this, I was like, what was my biggest splurge as of late? You know, taking a couple trips, that's probably a splurge. Anytime I vacation, it's a splurge because it's like, this is not an investment, but I want to do it anyways. Or when I first bought my car, I don't have it anymore, I sold it, but before I bought my first car, that was a splurge, I thought. I don't know what else. That's pretty much maybe a dinner, like a fancy dinner or something. That's probably my top splurges. What about you?
Me currently like dental procedures, they tend to like cost somewhat a lot, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I don't know, like my biggest splurge. I don't know if it's like necessarily a splurge, but I like to buy clothes that will last. I'm more of a
Okay.
quality over quantity person. I have very few clothes, but I like to get like decent things because I hate like bad quality clothing.
Mm.
But I don't like I don't splurge. If anything is like $50, that is that considered like a splurge?
It depends on your idea of splurge. There's no requirements. This is
Um,
Cam when she wears cheap clothing.
What am I wearing?
Yes.
yeah,
Got to
yeah,
use that.
pretty much.
Okay.
It's just that I noticed just how and this happened recently with something because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna need this, so I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna need it once. I'm just gonna buy it like in a bad thing, and then I had to wear it several times, and they disintegrate like within a week.
Yes, true.
I just cannot stand the waste. To me, it's like complete utter waste. I hate it.
I know. We need to all learn how to sew our own clothes by, the next couple years when all these
Yeah.
Sheins go under, even though they're like super
Oh,
successful.
Shein is the
Okay,
worst.
so dental work, I hear, clothes, vacation, dinner. All right, we're gonna see what Tony's splurges. All right, let's see. I'm sure it's gonna be really relatable to all of us.
Well, I've had a few, but at different stages of your life, what feels like a splurge changes. And I think it's really important never to lose the awe that you felt when you suddenly had a privilege or an ability. I mean, I can remember when it was a big deal that I could go to all you could eat smorgasbord and be able to take 3 friends and pay for it. It was a huge splurge. But one of the biggest splurges happened when I was about 24, 25 years old. I built a company and become pretty successful, and I had a really amazing economic month where I made $500,000 in a month, which was incredible at the time. And I always wanted to go to Fiji. I always wanted to have an island. I couldn't afford it. I saw an opportunity in a place I loved. I wanted to
An
just try and buy
island?
one little condo at
He's like, I always wanted an island, but I couldn't afford it at 22.
Wow. Sorry, when he didn't he say that his story was like, oh, he was just this like poor janitor and blah blah blah. Like how does he always want an island as a like janitor? Because I can't
Guy's got
even
a
dream
dream,
of
man.
having a house at this point.
I know,
I'm
I've
just
given
like
up hope. I'm like, well, it was nice thought when I was 5 to think I deserved and, could afford
to
housing.
live somewhere. Yeah. I don't know, like how it's never ever crossed my mind that I could possibly have an island.
Well, apparently you're not thinking big enough, Cam. That's what he'll teach you in, the $20,000 Dream Bigger mastermind.
Do you
He
know who
always
has
wanted
an
a
island
Fijian
though?
island.
Yeah. Do you know who has an island?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp,
I did know that.
not Amber Heard.
Yeah, not Amber Heard.
Yeah.
She's planning to get an island. What was the word that they kept debating in the court case? It was like promising the donations.
Oh, did you pledge or donate?
She's
Yeah.
pledging to get an island currently.
Well, so was Tony back then.
Yeah.
He was constantly pledging. No island was coming to him.
Yeah. So he made
what happened? Did he get it?
Well, he made $500,000 back in like the 80s, I guess, because that would be when he was in his 20s, and he was like, okay, now that I'm the wise sage of 25, I guess I'll pursue my dreams now. He had to really wait.
Place I loved. I wanted to just try and buy one little condo at this place. So I put some money in as a small investor in this resort, and then my partners went upside down. But I wasn't willing to let it go, and I found a way by hook by.
His partners went upside down. He didn't.
Yeah, I was wondering, what does he mean? Like, did they just tumble? And like,
My partners.
Did they have a little bromance? What happened there?
Unknown. He's gonna stay away from that. His small investment, his company was solid, right side up, but his partners, they're idiots.
Crook to figure out how to keep it.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, but like, did he want to buy an island with $500,000? And even I know that's like.
Well, I guess he wanted a condo on the island, but again, like, okay, he was 25, so he already had been to Fiji at this point, I guess, and had decided he fell in love with it. Like, yeah, the way he tells the story, like you said, like he was poor for so long, and then over time and all this hard grinding work, he became rich and famous. It's like, at 24 or 5, I think most people are still in the beginning stages of their career, not making $500,000 months.
At 24, if I could just not go into my overdraft, like, I consider that month a success.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking different levels.
I know.
Like, this is not Tony Robbins level of poverty. This is like actual poverty.
Okay, so his partners went under or went upside down, so bankrupt, but he's fine, but he couldn't like invest. I don't know. I guess he's saying he couldn't like comfortably invest more at that time because his partners are such fuck ups, I guess. Okay, let's continue. Let's see what else.
Poor
Together
idiot.
and make the payments. And today I have 525 acres, 3 miles of ocean frontage, and the top resort in the country. And I don't even go there very much. I don't go there not because I don't love it, because my life is so full. But I'm so joyous to see people go there and be lit up. It's like I don't have to do anything. They go to the resort and their lives are changed by being with these Fijian people in this beautiful environment. Probably the biggest splurge outside that, I can remember I called my mom, and I always wanted to live on the beach. And I said, Mama, come down to Huntington Beach. I want to show you this condo I'm looking at. I'm struggling. Should I do this or not? And I'll never forget, she came down and we looked around and she goes, honey, you've got to do this. And we look right on, smell the fresh ocean air. You can walk to the pier. I mean, put your feet in the sand. She goes, you've got to do it. I said, you sure? And she said, yeah. And I went, here, it's for you. And that moment of just shock at first, and then, no, you can, no, and then tears pouring down her face.
He hates his mom too.
My mom's been gone now for more than a decade, and it's still one of the most treasured moments of my life. So what I found is the greatest splurges. I've privileged to have a plane, do all kinds of things, and they all have added value in my life in some way. But the greatest splurges are the ones where you splurge on the people you love, because that has infinite value, infinite joy to you. Certainly splurge on yourself. You deserve it. You work hard, but maybe find who else you want to splurge on and find what that feels like. It can become a positive addiction in your life, because the more you give, the more alive you feel. So splurge, yes, but splurge with value. Splurge beyond yourself, and I think you'll find a much more meaningful and a much more joyous life.
I hate CNBC's Make It, by the way. It's the
I
fucking
cannot
stupidest thing
stand
I've
this
ever
guy.
seen. So his splurge was a condo that, at first, I don't really understand what the whole story was, because he basically said, like, I splurged on the condo, but then something happened financially, and now I own the whole island.
And now I own some ocean mileage. I'm like, okay. See, I think this is what people mean when they say they hate landlords. Just imagine being a Fijian and being like priced out of your own island by Tony Robbins because he just owns some ocean mileage.
Just a few ocean knots. He owns a whole resort there. I know a couple that in my real life that got married there semi recently, and it was like because Tony owns it, they're like super fans. So yeah, that's why they got married there. Interesting. I know we're supposed to be going back and forth, but actually my second Tony Robbins video is related to the Fijian island. Would you like to watch it now?
Yes.
Okay, before we
Yes,
move on.
absolutely.
Okay. So,
And I want to answer to Miga, how many teeth does he have? Well, I will say that he definitely also splurged on dental procedures because those teeth are like all fake.
everyone's doing dental splurges this month, apparently.
But he was so young in that as well. I don't know why, but when he was young, he looked like a cartoon character, and I just
I think he still does,
there's
just an
no way you
older
can
version.
convince me that he was not a cartoon character.
He's a larger than life figure, as they say. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of Fijian Islands, here he is on the island. Now, this is a video that was done by Business Insider that got a billion, jillion, quadrillion views. Where this reporter, who is apparently 18, he might be old. I think he's older, but he looks young to me. Gets to go with Tony to like live a day in his life on the island, and there's some moments where you'll see that it looks like his staff is, held there against their will. I'll just say that.
Oh my god.
So we can see some of the Fijian people that are interacting with Tony Robbins on a
The
daily
reporter
basis.
looks like he's held there against his will.
Yeah. And I will just say, watching this video, I watched this video before I didn't like Tony Robbins. And I remember even back then thinking like, wow, he really knows how to work the camera. As someone who, and you probably know too, there's certain people that when you film them, they know how to like get more airtime, if that makes sense. Like they know how to like what's going to be used in the footage. Like if you just sit there and you're, sitting down and being boring, like that footage probably won't be used. But if you're like a zany character who's making all these noises and like, wah, you know that that's the best footage that is going to be used. So I just think he's very good at that. Tony knows his, marks, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He is. He knows.
He knows.
He had a little slip up in his seminar, and it sucks that I cannot show this because it would be basically he said something, made a joke about how he was like younger than he is,
Uh-huh.
and the sound guy put like a sound effect. It was like like nah, like something like that. And he was like, "Hey, stop that!" And it was like just like a moment of the
A little
mask
too mean.
slipping a little bit because like he definitely did not want that. Like it was not like a cute stop that.
That guy's
It was
fired.
very like fuck off. Like
Yeah.
you don't put a damper on my jokes here.
No
like,
jokes. I'm the only one who can tell jokes. I'm
Yeah,
the
only
only
his
funny
jokes
one.
are worth
Yeah. $1 million.
airtime.
Jokes. Good joke. Okay, here we go. Tony Robbins. What Tony Robbins is really like. That's what this video is called. What Tony Robbins is really like.
Why Rich specifically? Why'd you invite him?
He's my bud.
His name is Rich. That's why.
I'm Rich Filoni, senior reporter at Business Insider.
Senior?
Tony Robbins is what he likes to call performance coach. He's
Apparently.
coached people like Serena Williams, Mark Benioff at Salesforce, Paul Tudor Jones, who's a billionaire investor. Over the last few years, I've had several opportunities to interview him. His team reached out to me and said Tony's going to be at his resort in Fiji. He was going to be hosting the winners of Shopify's Build a Bigger Business competition. And so we decided that, yeah, this would be a great
Oh,
opportunity.
Marie! Don't we
Marie
love a little,
Forleo. There
a
she
little reminder
is.
that she's a self-helper too. Okay.
Marie TV in the flesh in Fiji. Her and all
Yeah.
these broskies.
Their interaction at one point, like in her, I think he was one of his books was coming out, and he went on her podcast or on her Marie TV show. Sorry. Let's remember they don't just have like they're not just influencers, okay?
Yeah, they're different.
And he was like, he would kiss her hand and stuff, and I was just like, this is sleazy.
She loves
That was
it.
a sleazy moment.
She loves
and
it.
she would be like, just and I'm like, okay, fuck off.
Stop. Kiss me here.
Yeah.
Oops. You missed. That's what I think would happen. Yeah, she seems pretty happy
Yeah.
here. She seems pretty chill. She's comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, I'm a woman. I support women. This is all about empowering women. Let me go hang out with an accused sexual assaulter on his island, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, do we know if they stopped at just hanging out or?
I don't know.
I have like you guys have to understand. Like I have gone beyond being a cynic. Like what's next
Same.
after? Like you're not gonna convince me that the women in self help are not sleeping with them. Like sorry, just
I don't know. I don't know, but I think that they would turn a blind eye if it meant more money in their bank account. That's all I'll say.
oh yeah, absolutely.
In which they seem to already do. Anyways, okay, Marie Forleo in the flesh.
Competition. And so we decided that, yeah, this would be a great opportunity to see what Tony is actually like. We headed out from JFK in New York City to LAX, and then from LAX we took Fiji Airways to the main airport in Fiji. It's called Nandi. As we're waiting to get on this little island hopper, we noticed that on the runway is Tony's private jet, and it has a big TR logo on it. I'm going to admit that I was
Little splurge.
pretty scared.
Little
I
splurge.
haven't really been in a plane that small before. This is the only time I've ever actually checked the life vest under a seat. So
Just Tony's little splurge.
as we
Can't
were
believe
going
he said
into
the plane was like the
south-
smallest he's ever seen. Doesn't Tony know better? Just get like a big plane.
Just get a Spirit Airlines jumbo jet by now. God, Tony, come on. Just for
Yeah.
yourself.
Savu Airport, well, it's called an airport. There was a tiny little shack that was the airport, but it was basically a cow pasture. From there off to Namale. Namale is Tony Robbins' resort. This was one of his first major investments, so he was able to get it kind of cheap, and then over the
See, there's something sketchy. Like, he's like, I bought one condo, then some crazy shit happened, then I owned the whole island. And it's like, wait, how? What happened? It was cheap and it was your first investment ever. At 25, you had $500,000. Now you own the whole island. There's something missing there.
Yeah, and apologies for the background noise, but I would say also I have a feeling that this is gonna be one of these situations where it's like the airport was just this shock, but then we went to Tony's thing and it's like this gigantic mansion, like
yeah, it's
luxury
5-star.
mansion for sure.
Luxurious. Yeah, totally. Cold plunges everywhere. Yeah, and I like Laura's comments. Like, he's gonna be what he really is like, oh, well, yeah, all the cameras are on with his whole entourage of people who just want a competition for Spotify. He's gonna be definitely genuine in this situation.
Oh yeah, Tony's always so genuine.
Yeah, like this reporter really is getting the deep story. He's really putting himself out for this one.
Yeah, he's a senior though,
last-
so that's
Yeah, a senior in high school. Like, what's
Yeah,
going on? No offense, but he looks young.
last 30 years, he's just really built it up into a beautiful resort that's basically in the middle of the jungle by a bunch of coral reef.
I bet it was beautiful before he got there too.
One of our first stops was Tony's house.
Well, nice to see you on the other side of the world. How are you?
Good to see you, Tony.
Great, good to see you too.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Doing well.
He basically has this decked out hut in like the secluded part of his resort.
You ready for my morning routine?
Yes. Perfect.
So Tony has this really elaborate morning routine. I thought he was going to kind of give us a demo or something, but he said, why would I give you a demo when I could just guide you through the whole thing yourself? So we started off with priming,
You ready?
which is kind of like his take on meditation and yoga.
Begin to think of a moment in your life you could feel really grateful for if you wanted to. Enjoy it, feel up.
His take on meditation. I think that what he's doing is
Priming?
technically meditation. Well, priming is gonna be like this. There's like a pretty, not famous, but one of Kiki Chanel's videos about MLMs. They do this in the sales call of like Beachbody Zoom call. They're like, okay, everyone, time for priming before we do these like cold reach outs on Facebook. You're like, I'm primed.
what on earth? Like,
Oh, yeah,
what
I
does that
ruined it
mean?
because it's about to show up.
we're not like skin that needs to be primed for foundation. Like, what do you mean prime?
We're
Like, that's such
vibrators. They
a...
need to
Oh
be
yeah,
they need to be charged
yeah.
up, baby, and buzzed a little bit.
I forgot that we need to invent science in order to be in the self-help industry. So yeah.
Tony must have selected this guy because he's like, you know, a follower, a devout follower secretly or something. Because
Because he selected him because he's like a senior intern. So it's like, okay, I
yeah,
can
he's like, this guy's 10. All right, I can manipulate him. Because like this has been
imagine
a pretty
Business Insider.
lofty video so far.
Imagine Business Insider being like, oh, so we have this like investigative journalist wants to come. Like, it's like, who else do you have on the team?
It's like, do you have anyone that like wants to be a millionaire and like, you know, worships me secretly? Oh, okay, let me get him. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
pretty
now back to priming, right?
This
He's
guy
gotta
doesn't
thrill
even
it-
have like sorry, we're like,
There
I
you
feel
go.
like we're snarking on him too much, but like he doesn't even have like facial hair.
Not
He's
yet.
so young.
He's waiting. Not quite yet. He's got a Thrilla in Manila shirt on. So
Oh,
I don't know what that means, but just wanted to point it out.
is Manila like a war situation?
I don't know. It's in the
What do you think?
Philippines. That's all I know.
Oh, okay, okay.
He's
Yeah,
cool,
that
though.
was
He's a
war
cool
in the
reporter.
second-
He doesn't wear suit and tie like the New York Times. He wears a Thrilla in Manila shirt on Tony Robbins Island. Business Insider, baby.
He's currently being primed for the self-help industry right now.
Yeah, they're like hypnotizing him, right, to make this story good.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay.
With it.
Yeah, I'll admit it was pretty weird, but I just gave in totally and was like, you know what? We came all the way to Fiji. I'm just gonna go all in. So after his priming exercise, Tony took us inside, and I was surprised to see his personal trainer, Billy, this incredibly energetic guy who's always
How is
laughing.
the personal trainer so small compared to Tony?
Touch your toes.
It's like I got myself a little ant to teach me how to exercise. Like what?
I guess compared to Tony, anyone's small, but
That's true. Actually, that's true. He
I'm
is.
surprised he didn't hire like Michael Jordan's, 7-foot tall coach to teach him.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
Billy.
true.
Never heard of this guy. Never saw him before.
Yeah.
He
No,
made
that's
this little cocktail that was called like an adrenal cocktail or something. I didn't really know what it was, but I just decided to.
Look at him looking at him, drinking it like, yeah, okay, now he's going to say what I want. Like the truth serum is out. Now we got him, baby.
It's like we've poisoned him. It's all
Yeah,
good.
it's
Like,
actually antifreeze. He'll be dead before dawn. For a ritual sacrifice.
yeah.
Okay,
Let's see what happens to him. Does he turn into a monster or something? Like
let's see. Let's find out. That looked disgusting.
Drink
it
it,
was a
How's that?
potion.
and that fueled me for the rest of the day and everything that was to come. So next, it's time to check out what
That
Billy and
fueled
Tony
you
call.
for the rest of the day. What does that mean?
I don't
Sorry.
eat. I didn't eat for the rest of the week, and I felt great.
Like imagine me being like just having a coffee. I need like 7 coffees to wake up, but I have a coffee. I'm like, this fueled me for the day. Like no,
a
I
little
still need
poison.
like other things.
Nope, just a little poison to get you started.
Called the electric taco.
We're going to work as a team. You tell me when you feel it, even if it doesn't hurt. Just tell me when you first feel it, and we'll gradually go up.
So right now it feels like I'm getting like punched in the chest on both sides. Tony was saying that this is something that he does essentially every morning, and it basically stimulates your muscles to the point where it feels like you're getting a deep tissue massage. I immediately felt all of the tightness in my back first get really, really intense and then loosen up. After the electric taco, we went to Tony's personal gym. It was filled with these weird contraptions that looked kind of like something out of Saw or a medieval torture chamber.
If you want, we'll put you on the little torture
Does he
machine.
like
Hold still.
gym equipment? He's like, I'm so young. I've never been to a gym. I don't
Yeah.
know what those are.
It looks like normal gym equipment with like a little bit of weird added for no fucking reason.
Yeah, this guy sounds like he's like too young to be allowed into a gym. Like, sorry, bro. This is for adults.
He really does look like he's about to join like the JV basketball team, or he's trying out. Like
Why?
what? I don't know.
I'm shocked that he's there. Like, what is he doing there? Like,
making a PR piece for Tony Robbins that we're watching, promoting his village.
I think so. I think Tony probably paid for this.
I don't know if he paid for it, but he just,
Sponsored?
offered a free trip to this guy. And he's like, all right, I'll take the free trip.
Wow. I don't know, because this doesn't have anything like factual about it. Like, it just seems like the promotion.
We're still in his morning. We're not even at like anything else but like his morning routine. This is like the 6th step on his like, oh, since I wake up in the morning. The cold plunge comes at some point because he's famous for having a cold plunge every morning. So that's coming up in a second, I hope.
All the way.
And push.
Push
There you
as
go.
hard as you can.
The most medieval looking of all of these things. It's called the 4-minute machine.
Push, 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 push.
Around 2 minutes in, I really didn't think that I could do it.
Everything you got. This is it.
Tony was screaming at me, and I just felt like I couldn't embarrass myself there. So just driven by ego, I had to finish it.
Yes! Isn't that wild?
It felt as if I had spent like an hour in the gym. Tony took us to the next thing that he does every morning, which is spend some time in the sauna and then a cold plunge.
Here you go.
To be honest, it felt great. Basically, it's part of the workout because your heart rate is accelerated the whole time.
You'll find your body really relaxing because you've taken it to such extremes, you'll drop down to a different level. Like if you went and meditated now, you're going to meditate deep.
So the week went by, we got some great opportunities to see Tony in action, coaching entrepreneurs. We realized,
What the fuck is that?
Another 18-year-old from business is being coached. Like, can you send a guy to play reporter, and can you send the guy to play like being coached? Because I need 2 of them here for the promotional video.
He's like, I'm drop shipping on Amazon. I need tips on how to make this a big booming business. Well, just meditate every day and eat healthy. Thank you, Tony. That was worth the flight out here.
And I was gonna say, I went out with a guy who probably I don't think he ever listened to any of the coaches, gurus, but he would take like a cold shower in the morning, and that was his version of the cold plunge thing.
Steven does that. He does that at the end of the shower. He'll take a little coldness. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, I think that probably works as like a coffee.
Just jolts you up.
Wakes
Like,
you up, yeah. But from like that to saying that it has any health benefits.
This guy is the CEO of Gymshark.
What?
Interesting. We need to look him up later. I had Gymshark pants and I liked them, but then within probably a week of wearing them, the Gymshark logo like peeled off. It was like a sticker. And I was like, all right, I'm less than impressed.
Maybe he sticked it on himself. That's why.
Maybe. Is he a good guy or a weirdo?
Quality.
He looks young. I'll give him that. That's a pretty well-known company to be that young. Applaud for you, sir. Hold on, where's my applause? Applause for you, sir.
Okay.
Interesting.
So should I buy Gymshark then? Because I've wanted some.
No. I just said that stickers peeled off. It wasn't good.
Damn it. They look good in pictures at least.
I like outdoor voices. Outdoor voices? Or, well, Lululemon I like sort of, but they're so expensive, and I only got it because someone gave me a gift card one time. But that also peels off after a while. Like the stitching isn't perfect, so I'm like, no Fabletics? Okay. I haven't tried that. I need to get a subscription.
I don't think we have Fabletics in Europe.
That's a Kate Hudson's thing. Just go in the nude, Just work out in the nude. Let's go back to our roots. All right. Back to Gymshark guy, Ben Francis. I'm putting him on my list to look up later. He looks sketchy.
So now we're not gonna get sponsored by Gymshark ever.
That's fine.
This is our last, chance.
They got enough sponsors, or they got enough sponsored people.
that we needed some extra footage that we didn't get to kind of just wrap everything up before we headed back home.
How you guys doing?
We were really only expecting 5 or 10 minutes. He starts giving us a tour, and after just a few minutes, he points out something and says,
Did you go out to the waterfall?
"Have we gone to the waterfall?"
No, we didn't make it to the waterfall.
No.
Okay,
no,
we
no.
should run you out to the waterfall. Will you call them and ask them if they've got, my car is broken down, I think. I don't know if I can fit in this car.
So, 5-minute trip for
Car
extra
is
footage
broken
ended
down?
up being
It's like, I don't know if I can fit into his car.
Excuse me. His car is broken down? Tony Robbins? Who has a fucking plane?
Yeah, I think it's all orchestrated to make this guy's experience unique.
Yeah.
Everything's
Yeah,
orchestrated with
that
these people.
sounded very sus to me. Like, I'm just not gonna buy that.
And how he's on camera like, oh yeah, the car's broken down. So like, let's just take this like, special way that I take through my tunnel or whatever. Yeah, come on guys. Like, it's so natural, organic.
Yeah, that's just part of my day, my morning routine.
Yeah, I go to the waterfall every morning.
an adventure that lasted over an hour.
We're almost done here. See, here's the moments where he's like, I'm so good on camera.
At the top of this mountain was a waterfall.
It's pretty little.
I really wasn't expecting him to just dive into the water, throw his shirt off, and then scream like Tarzan. I dove into the water after Tony. It's a pretty surreal experience.
This is so
What I got from
cringe.
this last adventure.
Has he ever swam before? That dive was not very good. Hold on. let me go
Well,
back.
he's not yet at the swimming age, but
You don't have to watch it. Look at this. What form?
it's like pain all over. He's like screaming, but out of pain, not like
scared.
Tony out of being crazy.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know how to swim actually.
What I got from this last adventure was that Tony is a guy who, if you give him 5 minutes and you're able to get in front of him, if he's able to make a connection with someone, he's really going to engage fully. In Fiji, you could tell.
It's not because there's a fucking camera there and that this benefits him and all he has else to do today is get a taco massage and go in the sauna again. Like, come on. Talk to the CEO of Gymshark about nothing.
I also think that I believe him in that, but I think that's like his strategy. That's what he does. He will like impress people. Like every time.
Yeah. That's
Even,
his
like
business.
the guys from Impulsive, like they went to his house and he showed them because he's like, okay, these are kids. Let me show them like a toy. So he had this. Oh gosh, I don't have the words in English for it. He had this like slider down thing, like from one thing to another. I don't know, like from one floor
slide.
to another.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a slide, and he put them all through the slide, and they were like, "Oh my god!" Like because kids.
Yeah.
So, I think like in this case, it's like impressing him with something else. I don't know why, because this guy would also enjoy the slide. I think, but
Tony Robbins is cool with me. He put me on a slide, so
but I don't think like if he invites Bill Gates, he'll be like, "Okay, let me put you through the slide."
yeah.
You know, like
Agreed.
I think he just like has a strategy for like people. He wants to impress them so that they think of him like, oh my god, this amazing guy.
Give
Like,
him favorable coverage. I agree. I think
Yeah.
that's part of his plan too. But the cringiest part is coming up now. This is the part that really is the takeaway from this video, I think.
That he's like completely relaxed. This is his home turf, and I could see that he still kind of had like a kid's approach to the whole thing.
Are we on time? Am I late?
They had to catch a flight to Australia. A group of people who worked at Namale had formed a semicircle to sing a traditional Fiji farewell song.
Organically.
Time to say goodbye again. I'm so sorry, but I look forward to coming back home to see all the family again. It's been a beautiful, beautiful trip. Lavanaka.
He's clapping for real.
When you're in Tony's presence, you kind of get sucked into this. He's got a very magnetic personality. Totally, he's not for everyone. There are plenty of people who wouldn't be into this stuff, whether it's through his work or his philanthropy. I'm convinced that Tony is someone who is a genuine guy. Yes, he's able to make a ton of money because he has like very clearly defined business goals, but everything that he's preaching and teaching people, he genuinely believes himself. So after this trip, I've become convinced that anything in his material that he's teaching, this is something that he fully believes, he's fully invested in. And I think that that makes a big difference whether you're in or whether you're out.
Shut up, dude. Just
Shut up, I know. Yeah, I'm sure that was totally organic and it was not planned whatsoever to get
no,
everyone.
yeah, like that's part of his morning routine.
Everyone sings to me so I can get on my private jet and they can go back to their.
Yeah, he had this like kids approach. Are we late? Are we late? And he's like, oh yeah, because he makes money because he's so business minded. It's like, which one is it? Does he have a kids approach? Or is he
Well,
like a
if you
super
believe in the
serious
crazy shit
businessman?
that you say, then apparently it's all good.
Yeah.
Alex Jones is also totally legit because he believes what he says. It makes all the difference.
Oh my god, that was so hard to watch. The last part, like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Like, please
He's such a white
leave
savior.
our
Like, I just
island.
can't.
You
Yeah.
stole this land from us.
Fuck off, otherwise you might get murdered.
Thank you for this job, but I'd rather live here without you.
Yeah, can I please have my house back? You took it.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, no, seriously, that was so cringe.
Yeah.
Like, what was that
was
meant to
pretty
show? Like, that he's such a humanitarian who.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
know. That was a weirdo. That was a weird one. But that's his island in Fiji. That was his big splurge in life. Just a little splurge.
That's,
It's a full
nice.
full staff of native people singing to me every
Next
day.
year, I'm also splurging on an island. Like, I would for sure buy an island next year.
Okay, yeah. No, he bought one when he was 25, so just got a little bit of catching up to do. That's all.
I'm just like 7 years late, but that's fine.